to be working on the backstroke start, and as with any start, I think there are a lot of individual differences based on your body type, your size, how tall you are, what some of your best qualities are, if you have a lot of explosiveness, how streamlined you can be. So when we talk about the start today, we're going to do some generalities, but I think that there is some leeway where you can make some individual changes for yourself. Bryce happens to have pretty good vertical leap. It's not the best on the team, but he's fairly solid at it, and you'll notice that in his start, in the height and the distance he gets off the block, because he really uses his legs. But I think what's more important is Bryce has extremely quick hands off the block, and that's what I try and work with new backstrokers in our program. I try and really emphasize quick hands, because your hands are sort of like the steering wheel in the start. If your hands stay at the block a little too long and you begin your motor, that jump, your body's not going to know what direction to go in. So the first thing we're going to start with is the steering wheel, getting those hands off the block. Let's look at the setup of Bryce's hands right now. We notice that he's got his hands about shoulder width apart, and I really like how he uses his thumbs on the front of the block. It gives a little more grip. That's what makes one of the things that makes humans so much more advanced than some animals, is that we have these thumbs, and he's using them. He's not just curling them around the blocks. Okay? When Bryce gets in the starting position, we'll see that his knees are directly underneath his armpits. They're not outside the armpits, and more importantly, his feet aren't close together. We want to be in a position to get a maximum jump off the wall. All right, and we'll see that his feet are completely lined up with his knees. So body's in great alignment. Okay, I'm going to tell Bryce to get in the take your mark position, and we'll look quickly at his body. You can see his bottom is still below the surface of the water. That's where you'll see a lot of individual differences. You can relax for a second, Bryce. A lot of individual differences. We'll have some swimmers that get their bottom much higher out of the water, and some that will be even a little bit lower. That's an area where I think you can play a little bit. I've seen the most successful starters with their bottom a little bit higher, not completely out of the surface of the water, but right there at the edge, maybe a suit line at the surface could be a good judgment. I let Bryce relax a little bit because it takes a lot of energy to hold yourself up on that block. So a little hint that I have for you all when you're racing is to wait until the starter says, take your mark, before you hang your arms on that bar. Because all you're doing there is wasting some energy. So you can see when I'm talking, Bryce is just relaxing on the wall, so he's not wasting any energy. Okay, Bryce will go back into that starting position again. Take your mark, and we can see his head is, the crown of his head is pointed towards the block, but not completely. This would be a little too far over rotated, but we don't want him looking straight at the block. So a little bit relaxed here because he's going to throw his head backwards. Okay, we'll relax one more time.